Still a bit bright. As you can kind of see, and what you probably concluded from the title for my video, I actually am going to be painting a parrot today. As you can see, I got my nice little smock on, and I have the parrot sketched out here. So, hopefully I can, without interruptions this time, that would be nice, paint this guy and answer some of your guys' questions. There we go. I'm a bit out of breath because I just was running all over the place trying to look for where my tripod was, but thank goodness I found it in time. I think I actually might be a tiny bit early. Hello. Hey everyone. Welcome to the live feed. So today I have all of my painting supplies behind the camera. I'm using this box lid as my painting palette, and I have a box of paints, of which I'm probably going to be using mostly green, blue, and I think yellow. I actually marked up here and here what colors should be there because I keep mixing them up. How do I draw so good? Oh, thank you very much. I guess I could say practice, but I'm pretty sure it's just luck. I just keep doing something over and over again until it looks good, as you guys are about to see. So I'm going to start with the beak because I don't really want to add color yet. So I have this little paintbrush. It's actually meant for chalk, but I'm weird and I use it for paint. So I'm going to get a bit of black. You probably won't be able to see me doing this because I can't hold the... Oh, hold on. There we go. Oh, that's a interesting sound. And now I got to add a bit of white. Unfortunately, most of this is dry, so I might not be able to get the gray I want with it. Oh, that looks good enough. I'll lighten it up a bit more with the white on the sides. As you can see, you can kind of see the canvas is a bit shiny. The reason for that being I actually painted over an old painting, and you can see that uh, on my Instagram page at Steven Draws if you're curious what this used to look like. So right now I'm just starting with the beak, obviously, and I'm just going to add a little outline on this guy. It's a bit light, lighter than it probably should be, but I'm going to be adding lots of colors mixed in here, so it doesn't really matter. Also, I've got to get the inside of his mouth. And again, this is just a quick outline. So it doesn't really matter if it's super messy, as long as it's within the lines to an extent, which I think I am kind of achieving. All right, I'm going to read the comments just a little bit because I feel I missed some of them. Oh, and it does not want to let me see them. That's too bad. Oh, there we go. Can you hear me? What's wrong with my speaker? Oh, okay, you can hear me now. Yeah, I just heard my mom from upstairs say, I think there's something wrong with your speaker. Well, hopefully, if you guys mind telling me in the chat if it goes out, I can try to fix it. I'm connected to my Bluetooth headphones right now, and I'm using this as a microphone so I don't fade out when I walk away from the phone. But I might have to turn that off if it's causing too much of a problem. So right now I'm just going to add outlines where it's going to be dark. I like using this chalk brush because it's boar bristle, but I can be as rough as I want with it and don't really have to worry about wrecking it. I'm a bit vicious with my brushes, but you know, that's okay because I get an interesting product after it and my stuff doesn't get wrecked. So yeah, I would highly recommend using a short round bristle brush if you want to do like, I don't know, animals? I wouldn't really recommend it for smooth things because that doesn't necessarily turn out well. Like the beak, hopefully I can get that to look good. I love the sound quality tonight. I'm almost deaf and I can hear this well. Well, that's great to hear. I was having, I'm not sure if you were here when I said this, but I was actually having a bit of sound problem. So that's really good. Oh, that means my hypothesis, I'm using unnecessarily Basically, my little experiment that I was doing was right. Trying to make it so when I walk away, my voice doesn't fade out. So hopefully what I'm going to get is green, very bright green up here, and then it's going to fade into blue at the bottom, kind of like, actually, I think I forgot what the parrot's name was because although I went on a live feed painting it, I neglected that I should probably research its name at least. I guess not. That's all right though. It's not that big a deal. I'm just getting some more gray. Just gonna fill in this beak. And I'm actually gonna pull up like this. This is essentially like painting on a wall at this point because I used wall paint and it's like super smooth. There's very little texture on it, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I think I can work with it. Also, it kind of helps to make interesting shapes and designs a little bit. Like you can see it looks kind of polka dotty. Yeah. So I'm just going to fill in this beak and hopefully move on to some color soon. I also have a little bit of a selection of other brushes behind me. Oh, no, I don't. They're over on the table there. I'm probably going to have to grab those because this is not great for small details. It works for like hair and stuff. Like if you want to go like, oh, can't even see that. Running out of paint a little bit. But yeah. I have a very large bristle brush, similar to this. It's a round bristle. Uh, I think I actually used it for the tiger painting I did. Not the one that I was talking about before, but I actually posted it to my YouTube channel. I painted on a mirror, and it was my first painting ever. So if you guys want to check that out after the live feed, feel free. I just got to add a little bit more black to that because it's a bit too bright for the beak. My paints are kind of old that I'm using, so hopefully I can buy some new ones relatively soon. Because they're all kind of chunky. Hopefully I can fix that problem. You might be wondering where I've been this whole time, because it's been a couple months since I've posted. And to be honest, I've just been pretty preoccupied with school. So hopefully, yeah, hopefully I can start posting some more. I think I can. I'm coming up to a bit of a break soon, so that would be nice. And just going to fill in the bottom of its beak and the inside of its mouth. Let's see. Would you consider an auction off this painting on eBay? I think I would love to actually auction off some of my early paintings. Although I did actually say I might give this one to my parents to hang in their room. I'm not sure if they wanted it or not, but I'm going to give them first dibs because, you know, they're my parents. And I actually said I was going to do a painting for their room a while ago, and I keep forgetting. So if this one turns out good, I think I'll give it to them. Now, I think it would be kind of cool if I added a bit of blue. Again, I'm going to just be working on the beak. I just want to give a bit of color to it because I don't really want it to look realistic. I want it to be more street art style. Oh, thank you very much, Matthew. Uh, let's see. Oh, thank you very much. That Yarny Zebra and stuff. You guys are awesome. That helps. That helps a lot, actually. Now I don't have to save up as much for that paint I was just mentioning. Thank you very much. All right, I'm going to, let's see, maybe add the blue in where areas might be a bit lighter. Because you wouldn't really see a whole lot of color in the darker areas. Kind of like that. You can't really see it too well on the live feed, but it's definitely there. I'm going to start actually brushing the blue down into like the main highlighted area, like so. And again, this is not the final product of the beak. It's the first layer, so I'm going to be adding lots of other layers on top. All right, I'm going to add some blue here, and especially on his tongue, I think that would be kind of cool to give him a colorful little parrot tongue. As you guys probably already know, I have done a parrot before. It is, well, it's the background for most of my videos, so hopefully I didn't lose my touch in regards to drawing these. I'm going to let this dry, and I'm going to move on to, let's move on to the hair. I kind of want to do a bit of green. Hopefully, well, it's going to be a bit dark because I'm mixing it in with my blue and black mixture, but that's just for the first layer. So I'm going to get yellow, blue, and black in here. I might actually add a bit of white as well, just to lighten this up a decent amount. It's going to be like a grayish green that I'm going for. Oh, I'm shaking my camera a bit. And what I can do is just roll my brush to get that excess off. Now, I actually didn't think to bring my paint can over for some reason, so I'm just going to fill up my white paint really quick. Shouldn't be too long. And the white paint I'm using actually is acrylic wall paint, although it doesn't really affect the product of the painting very much. It'll just be a little bit more shiny, I guess. This is turning out to be a bit of a turquoise now that I am mixing it. That's not a bad thing. I like turquoise. Oh, it's not a turquoise, it's a teal. Well, whatever. You guys will see it. So I'm just going to start up here and just add it where I think the shadows should go. And I always start with where the shadows should go because if you add shadows after, it looks kind of flat. So again, no, not again. I did not mention this before. What I basically do for feathers is come down to a point. So I'll go swoop up and then come down like this. And add little random dots in there. Add a bit of texture. Let's see. I'm just going to read the comments really quickly. What kind of paint palette is that? It's a box lid. I could not find a better paint palette at the moment. The one that I was using before has watercolor paint dried up in it, and I did not want to have to clean that in the time frame that I had because I am not very fast. Hello. Oh, what were you going to say?
Casey sent you a picture,
Oh, thank you very much, Casey.
and when you turn your head, your face is covering the mic, so it'll be fine and really clear. And then if you
Oh,
that's what it is.
oh, my bad. I'm going to actually put my headphones on my ears then. That way my neck won't cover the mic. Thanks for telling me, Mom. Yes, thank you very much, Casey. All right, so now I'm just going to fill in where the shadows are, like I was saying. It's a good thing that my mom caught that. That would have made for a very, very irritating live feed. Can you imagine the whole time it would be like fading in and out? I think I might just go crazy if I rewatched it. Let's see. Is that biscuit, chocolate, and gravy slowing you down too? Oh, slowing you down. Um, maybe. It was really, really good. I think my mom just put that video up. We had it was like this buttery biscuit, but it had chocolate gravy on top, and I think the mixture of sweet and savory was really, really nice. I would definitely have that again. I don't know what the recipe is, but 100% I will have that again. All right. As you can see, yeah, the sound is better now. All right, that's good to hear. I'm just going to start filling in here then. Maybe I'll add some of the greenish blue down here where I think the stripes are going to be. Again, I don't want to have conventional or super conventional colors when I do this. I kind of want to have it all mixed because I like when things are super, I guess, rainbowy. And again, if you want to see what used to be on this canvas, you can go to my Instagram at Steven Draws. Now I think what I should probably do is get that blue done. So I'm going to go into a different spot on my canvas. I want it to be a very light blue, so I'm going to go over and get lots of white paint. Okay, I'm going to read this comment. Let's see. I love anything gravy. Food coloring wouldn't have. Oh, you guys are talking about cooking stuff. I'm not caught up on those comments, so I probably shouldn't try to comment on those yet because I'm going to slow down the live feed a bit. All right, I'm going to pop the lid off of this thing. The tin actually, it's super messy right now, the paint tin that I'm using. So I'm probably going to have to get a new one of those. You can probably hear me mixing the paint. Sounds. Oh, there we go. Shoot, I dumped a bit of paint on my hand. Hopefully that won't interfere with my drawing since I do have a habit of touching my paintings and smearing them unintentionally. Sometimes intentionally. I will occasionally finger paint. There. I just got to roll the excess off on the corners or it becomes a problem. It can drip onto the painting and I do not want that. So now that I'm moving into the blue, I'm going to do the exact same thing I was doing with the green, except, with the blue. And I noticed something really interesting with these parrots. They have one very colorful stripe at the top, and then they have patches of color here, here, and here. Well, not really here, but here, here, and down here. Hmm. I think, excuse me, I just had a big supper, so I'm a bit gassy. So that must kind of sound interesting on your guys' end. There we go. So I think if I fill in this area with this light blue, it should be the right color. Then I can come in with like a kind of neon-y green up here. Actually, I'm going to add a bit of blue up here for the time being, just to kind of fill in that area while I'm working. I have this really weird thing where if I start a painting, I cannot stop until I like it, which is kind of annoying, but maybe that's why all of my drawings are progressing so fast. Like this is probably my fourth painting ever. Oh, fourth acrylic painting ever. I did a lot of watercolor. Oh, that's not true. I did, here, I'm actually gonna grab one of my recent pictures. So I'm just gonna walk into my room. I actually framed this one because it was one of my first good paintings. Just gonna take it off the wall without dropping it. Oop. Would have been kind of comedic timing. Not really that funny to me though. I painted a fox. Now it's not super great. I messed up on the eyes, but besides that, I think it turned out pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna go put this back and I'm going to read the comments. I use mostly blue. Oh, shoot. It's falling off the wall. Oh, did I get it? No, I didn't. Oh dear. Well, I'm probably just gonna have to. There we go. I was getting ready to stand that up against the wall, try to figure it out later. Let's see. Oh, thank you very much. I missed a super chat. Let's see. Martha Triumph. Thank you very much. Hello from Texas. You're very talented. Stay kind and be blessed. Thank you so much. That is really kind of you. You guys are awesome. I'm really glad that I did this live feed. I always like to catch up with you guys. Yeah, the last live feed I tried to do, my phone kicked me off twice. So I would start a live feed and then it would just randomly buffer and then end. Hopefully that doesn't happen this time. I think we got the Wi-Fi box thing fixed. We have these little pods. Hey John, hello to everyone joining right now. All right, now I'm gonna add some of the blue, or some more of the blue onto the stripes, as I was saying with the green, just to add a little bit of extra color. Maybe I'll add a little bit of blue here for some of the shading as well, because, why not? As long as the colors don't clash, I don't think it'll really mess up my painting. I just mixed a bit more white in with my teal color, and I'm going to add a bit more yellow So it won't be too tealy. It'll be, I don't know, kind of brighter. It's kind of an orangey yellow though, so I guess we'll have to see how that goes. I added a pretty generous amount here, so hopefully it's still green and not like a weird brown. And I'm probably gonna have to add a bit more white after that. I didn't mean to say white like that. I said it with an H. I know yeah, I know it's there. But I said white. Whatever, it's fine. My inner British person came out. Maybe my inner Stewie Griffin is coming out. Cool whip. Hopefully not. That's like the third time I've done that in this live feed. All right, I'm going to, well, as you can see, I probably should have started narrating before, or not really narrating, but covering what I'm doing. I'm basically filling in the top of his head really lightly, just pushing up with the bristles to try to create a little bit of a texture with the second color. And since the second color is more green, this is my second layer before I add the super yellowy bright highlights on top. But so far, I think it's turning out pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna read the comments a bit more because I hate when I when I miss out on a conversation. Oh, I missed your paintings. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here painting for you guys. I think my YouTube is well, not think. I know my YouTube is the whole reason I actually started my art career. Actually, so I'm glad that I can finally be back on here without stressing too much about a test. Speaking of tests, I won't be posting probably in the next week or so, like I was planning to, since I have a unit test uh, for algebra. Not a fan of that. But, you know, building blocks and stuff. I don't know what I'm ever going to use it for. Just in case I ever become a contractor that hates actually measuring things and has to use graphing to find the area of a garden. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they invented like rulers now. Well, not for a garden. You might want to use one of those measuring wheel things like they wind up. I don't know what they're called. All right, I think that is turning out pretty all right so far. So I think I'm going to wait for that to dry and get some yellow. I might actually transition into, not really transition, but I might actually change out this because for some reason when I mix the wall paint in, it takes a longer time to dry. I'm not necessarily a huge fan of that. So I'm going to probably have to switch this out or it'll take me a while to keep painting. That might be a little annoying. Maybe I'll use that time to talk to you guys though. I guess we'll see. I think this area should be yellow. That feels right. And again, shadows first. And what I'm doing with this, since the feathers on this section of the bird are a bit longer, I'm not going for shorter points like I was at the top. I'm actually dragging it down a lot further and then dragging another one down and connecting it. Basically just making longer triangles or little points that are longer. Um, so yeah, let's just fill this little area in. Hopefully quickly. I don't want to waste too much time because this one doesn't have wall paint in it. It's just yellow. So far, I think it's looking like a parrot. What do you guys think? Oh, I'm going to scroll down. I just missed a comment. Looking really good. I really enjoy watching you paint. Thank you very much. I enjoy painting. I'm glad that you guys are here. Oh, that might have been a mistake. Let's see. I'm going to look in the camera actually to get a different perspective on my painting. Does that look good? Yeah, I think I can add a bit of yellow highlights on here. And this is going to be a two-part video because most of my drawings take a couple hours and I don't think my phone's going to last that long. has been dying really quickly lately, but I think that's just because of the cold. I've noticed whenever I've walked home from school, now that I'm online, I don't really do that as much. Well, I don't do that at all. But I noticed that when it was really cold, my phone would die like super quickly. It would take like 5 minutes and then my phone would die. So I'm assuming that's the reason my phone is dying so quickly. And down here, I'm pretty sure it's green again. But before I move on to there, I'm just going to add a tiny bit of yellow on his beak just for fun. No real reason for it, but I'm going to do it anyway. All the colors I can imagine are going to go on here. No, they're not. That's a lie. I'm just going to put a bunch of random colors on here and hope it doesn't turn out bad. But so far, I think it's looking pretty good since I've only been online for about 20 minutes. If I didn't have a sketch with me, I would have not gotten this far at all. So yeah, the bottom definitely is green. So what I'm going to do is come in with my blue, mix a bit of blue in with the teal, get a tealy blue, and add some shadows. Shadows are always first. Hmm. I've been pretty occupied with art class recently. I have this really nice teacher. He reminds me of like someone like he reminds me of someone super familiar, but I can't put my finger on it. But he's been pretty lenient on me. I don't know, pretty easy on me when it comes to me not handing in my projects on time because I apparently have a problem with that. They still get handed in. They're done. I think there's like I blame my computer. It's probably just me not doing something right. They get in eventually. So this is what we got so far. Oh, thank you very much. I missed super chat. I'm happy to send you a small amount for your art supply fund. You have an amazing talent, and it's a pleasure to watch you progress with your art. Good wishes from a fan in Wisconsin. Oh, thank you very much. That is very kind of you. I can't stress enough how much I appreciate you guys, by the way. You guys being here on my YouTube channel actually is helping me achieve becoming a professional artist, hopefully someday. I think I want to go into like graphic design, maybe video game design, but I also kind of think it would be cool if I had when I'm older and the quarantine is finally lifted, I'd like to have like a maybe a TV show where I could go all around the world and paint murals and teach people how to draw and stuff. That might be cool. I'm just adding a bit of shading in here with my turquoisey color. Oh, this the part of the beak isn't even finished. I didn't even notice until now. So as you can probably guess, I'm going to come in with a bit of blue, mix it in with the turquoisey color. I think that might look cool. Does it look cool? Yeah, it looks all right. That would be awesome, Stephen. Well, thank you. I appreciate your guys' support. You are all awesome. All right. Now what I'm doing is just adding little blobs of where I think some extra color might be cool. I did this on a couple other ones, and it actually adds a bit of street art looking designs on it. Like, I don't finish the stroke, I just kind of make a little block out of it, or little squares, little rectangles. I think that looks kind of cool. I'm going to come in with my blue actually in here and actually up here as well, and add a little different color so it doesn't kind of clash as much. But then again, kind of mixes with the back. Oh, thank you very much, Gianna. Hopefully I said your name right. Oh, and thank you very much, Jan. You guys are awesome. Oh, excuse me. I we went sledding today, and as you guys probably already know, how the cold will affect your lungs. I've been have a bit of a sore lungs today because we're running up and down the hill. I actually was pulling my siblings on the sled on the way back to the car, but I would like occasionally stop and like try to fling them off. So that was kind of fun. All right, now I'm just making kind of like the tealy blue color, except a little bluer. And I should probably add a bit of white there. I think that would look cool. Oh, and occasionally with my paintings, I actually did bring oil pastels here, so I can add a bit of a temporary highlight where I want it to go, and then I'll paint over top. Um, so it's pretty useful on canvas. So what I will do is I will add a very thin layer of oil pastel where I want a certain color to be, just to kind of see what it'll look like. Then I will come in with the same color with just regular acrylic paint and fill it in. I'm just going to roll the excess off the brush. I have this light teal up here. I think it looks kind of cool. And I will start working on the highlights. I guess it's kind of dark actually. I'm just going to start adding highlights on the bottom then. That way it'll look cool. Like that. And I'm going to add a little extra color on the inside of his cheek here because the white looks pretty flat as of right now. So I'm just going to fill that in with my green, and then I can come in with different colors if I want, but I don't want to right now because I am lazy. I've been thinking actually, someone actually recently asked me, how did I develop my art style? And then I thought about how does anyone really develop their art style? And I think maybe an art style is just how people take shortcuts in their artwork, or maybe how the way that their mind naturally goes to fill in this space or do this. My art style is kind of chunky, looks relatively realistic, I hope. I'm going to actually step back here and take a look at it from a bit of a distance and see how it looks. That's all right. I think it looks kind of cool. Looks definitely looks a lot better on your guys' end because on this end it looks chunky. Well, maybe it doesn't. Hopefully it looks good. It looks good on your guys' end. Now what I have to do is wait for the paint on this palette, especially over here, to dry a little bit so I can add more colors. And I guess when I do that, I'll just read your guys' comments. This also gives me an opportunity to wait for this to dry so I can add more layers without it smearing. All right. Well, now I'm going to read some comments. Let's see. Oh, his eye. You're right. That needs to be fixed. It's missing a lot of stuff on the eye. I'm gonna probably come in with a darker color and fix that. Let's see. It looks amazing. Nice work. Thank you very much. All right. So hopefully, oh, we got 90 people on the live. That's pretty good. I'm glad you all could be here. It's been a while. Yeah. All right. Now I definitely gotta wait for this to dry. Beautiful job so far. Well, thank you. I'm gonna take a step back from quite a distance and just look at what I need to do next. And already what I see is I need to switch out my paint palette. This is already full of paint. Maybe I should try to use a bit less. Nah, it's fine. What I need to find, I think I put it in my room. That's where I'm going, by the way. If I seem to cut out a tiny bit, that's because I'm moving my headset a bit of a distance away. I'm going to use this plastic yogurt tin or yogurt container lid. There we go. Uh, as a palette now. I'm gonna get a lot of white into this now. So it's not really the white of the canvas that's on his cheek. It's the white and the greenish mixture that I'm about to make. Already, I think it turned out pretty good, so I'm gonna start with that. I hope everyone's having a really good night. It's been pretty fun today. We were just playing a board game as a family before I came on the live. Well, I guess I wasn't really. I was kind of preparing for this, but it was definitely getting loud. I'm not sure if you guys could hear that. That was my dad's famous scream sneeze. Might have heard it in the background. All right. I think I missed. Oh yeah, it works for me. A yogurt lid. Yeah. I know. If I have, I know. No, the expression is you know. Whatever. If you have something that works, why not use it? Like I had like a really old sock that I just couldn't find the pair to. I've been using that actually as a paintbrush for some of my backgrounds on my first ones because I just smeared it around and I got like this cool like cloudy effect. I probably wouldn't sell that one. Old sock painting. I did not, no, I did not wash it. It is kind of gross. Whatever. It worked. All right, now I'm just adding highlights as you guys can see. I'm going to add lots of highlights on this blue side. Make it pop a little bit. Let's see. Wow, your work of art is beautiful. Thank you very much. I am hopefully progressing in a positive way in this. What I'm going to do after I get it to, kind of look okay-ish, uh, I'm going to probably start adding oil pastels so I know where to paint. So I'm going to fill in this guy's eye a little bit with the white and teal mixture that I've made on my palette. Oh, and add a bit of a highlight here. And again, the highlights that I'm making aren't going to be blended in on purpose because I wanted to have a street art kind of feel to it. Oh, by the way, some people were asking me today, actually, the reason I put crowns on my art. The reason I did that is because a lot of the street artists that I really kind of look up to, I think their art is really interesting. They put little crowns on top of their tags and their artworks. So I thought, why not put one on top of this? You know, looks kind of interesting with the crown on it and everything. I'm gonna go in with little circles. And again, I was mentioning before that I can be as rough as I want with this round bristle brush because it doesn't really matter as it essentially is indestructible as far as I know. Like I'm pushing hard with this. Oh, shoot. Almost, easel almost fell over. That would have been embarrassing and it would have been horrible for the carpet. Oh, let's see. What did I miss? What are you using as a brush? I can't identify it. This is a round bristle chalk brush, and I actually super glued and taped a spark plug to the end so I can get a better thing in my hand while I do this. It's kind of weird, but it looks cool and it works, so why not? I noticed actually a lot of artists who like have, relatively unique styles actually make their own supplies to a point where like if they want their pencil to fit better in their hand, they will put a bunch of like rubber bands around it or something. Just whatever makes it fit easier in your hand. I think that's the key. Like the position you like to hold your paintbrush in, just, if it's a bit uncomfortable, just change your brush a bit. Now I'm going to move back to my original paint lid, excuse me, and get some more dark, what are the shadows? I was going to say dark lights. That's not the right word. All right, so I'm going to come in with my darker blue. I'm actually going to try to mix it with a bit of this teal color because there's a lot of black in there, and I'm pretty sure I could get something interesting with that. Oh, there's a big comment. I'm going to try to read that. Haven't seen you paint in a while. Yeah, it's been a while. Oh no, that's from my mom. All right, I'll let my mom read that one then. It has definitely been a while. I know I'm not supposed to add shadows after I add the highlights, but you know, ooh, hmm, I just thought of something. So definitely I need to start developing this yellow area because it looks kind of like earwax yellow color. Not a fan of that. I'm definitely going to want to change that soon. And I'm going to add a bit of yellow here as well. My battery is starting to die on me, so I might have to wrap it up relatively soon. Relatively soon. Yeah, I know that was a gross analogy. I kind of regret saying it, but you know, whatever. It's true. It's not a pretty color so far. I want it to be nice and bright yellow. And so far I got that. So now what I'm gonna do is move back to my bright palette, which I put inconveniently on a table over here where you can't see me. That's fine. Whatever. I'm gonna mix more white onto the palette because oh, and it turned into a light blue. So that's gonna actually be a pretty good highlight then. I also got quite a bit of paint on my fingers. I think I'll be fine though. This is definitely not the first time that's happened. I have a habit of being the messiest, like, I don't know, artist as I possibly can be when it comes to painting. Like, I completely destroy my clothes. If I didn't have this apron on, I probably wouldn't have any clean clothes left. And thanks to my grandma, it actually saved me recently. I dropped a painting on myself. That fox, actually. I dropped the fox on my shirt before. Oh, I mean, I had this on. This saved me. I had like a giant painty mess, but I managed to clean most of it off. I can't imagine where I would be right now, or where my clothing situation would be right now if I did not have this smell. So thank you very much, Grandma, if you're watching this. This is probably one of the best art gifts I've gotten in a while. You know, regarding saving me from messes. Fox attack, yeah. Oh, I've actually been pretty interested in foxes. I wouldn't recommend, you know, walking up and petting them, but apparently they're like super friendly. And if they're domesticated, if you adopt one into your house, they live longer. I would again not recommend it. They'll probably bite your hand. I don't want to be liable for you guys getting bit by foxes, although I doubt you would do that. Still, they're like super cute. And if it was legal, I'm pretty sure it's not legal to own a fox. But if it was, I would totally have one. Yeah, as of right now, of course, I'm very grateful to have Chewy. He's super cute. I would never trade him for anything, but I would still own a fox. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm pretty sure the fox would potentially eat Chewy, so maybe that wouldn't be a good mix. Let's see. Almost everything I own has paint on it. Yeah, painting is one of the messiest, one of the messiest things I've ever taken up. So far, I've yet to surprise myself with a messier activity than painting. I'm going to. Hopefully, next live feed I can have a bit of music in the background because that would be nice. Instead of listening to me drone on for so long, um, music always kind of helps me get in the mood for painting, I think. I'm going to step away a bit so I can get a better look at it. Uh, I have a relatively big area in this basement that I can step back and look at my painting a bit. and see what I need to add next. So definitely what I need to add next is black. Just very dark blue or black, especially for this area. And maybe this is where I can start introducing my oil pastels. So I'm going to roll the paint off of my brush onto this little Kleenex thing that I have so it doesn't dry out crunchy. Hopefully it doesn't. And then I can come in with black oil pastel, like so. And what I do is I just very lightly add little shadows where I definitely need them to be. Then I can come back with paint and draw over them. Let's see. It's stunning. Thank you very much. I am beginning to like it more and more as the live progresses. However, when I step away, I immediately hate it. I think when you look at something from a distance and you can see all the little flaws that need to be fixed, it's kind of hard to like it. Regarding art anyway, whenever I see a problem with art, or with my art anyway, I always get like super frustrated because I know I can fix it, but I haven't yet. I don't know if this applies to any of you guys or the artists in the chat right now, but when you use mixed media, does it almost feel like you're cheating? I know it's not. Like it gets a cool result when you do it, but whenever I use mixed media, I always feel like I'm kind of cheating. Like I shouldn't be doing that. Only use paint. I don't know why. I think it'd be kind of cool if I think most of my artworks are mixed media. Almost all of them actually. Let's see. I rather listen to you. It's soothing while I watch you paint. Well, all right. I'm glad to hear that you find my talking soothing. Excuse me. I am having an interesting voice crack episode going on here. And it's been a while since I've talked to a group of people besides my class. And even then, no one really likes to get into big conversations because they're all so focused on painting. There, I'm going to grab a bright yellow oil pastel and just add a tiny bit of highlights in here for where I want it to be when I start to add more paint. I highly recommend painting with oil pastels because it actually fills in, like, excuse me, fur relative, oh no, relatively well. I had meatballs. I wouldn't think it would make me burp this much. Glad none of them were like super loud yet. I've yet to be kind of gross on this live besides saying that my bird had earwax colored paint on it. Uh, I'm just gonna add a little bit more highlights here and a bit on the beak. Maybe a little bit on the head as well. Sometimes I'll come in and I like to use spray paint and then actually spray into a tint because it dries really fast and I can use my finger to like add a tiny bit of a highlight. And because it dries fast, it only goes on like a very thin layer. I think that is pretty cool. Just a moment, folks. I will be right back. I am going to grab. Oh, actually, no, I'm not. I thought it was in my room. Whole art setup just shifted. It's on a carpet right now, but the carpet doesn't have that little grippy pad underneath. So I just slid the whole thing. Could have gone a lot worse, but it did not. So I'm grateful for that. I'm now going to come in with some black, some black paint. Oh, if I can get it out of the tube. Oh, I'm running out. All right, I think I have a second tube. Hopefully. Yes, I do. There we go. You know when like paint gets plugged with that like gross dried paint on the inside? I'm having one of those incidents. There we go. That's good enough. I'm just gonna let that problem exist so I can fix it another time. I am a master of procrastination, as I think a lot of artists can agree with me. If you're so focused on like, your painting, another project or problem arise, you probably wouldn't really care as much. Just try to fix it later. Maybe that's just me though. Oh, my phone is at 10%. Hopefully I can finish this part of the bird before my phone dies. I guess you'll know if my phone dies because the live feed will end. I guess it's kind of like a time limit, so I can't go for too long because I do tend to lose track of time when I'm doing these. Hmm. So right now what I'm going to do is it's a bit greenish. I did not add a lot of black to my little palette because again, as I was saying, it is clogged and I don't want to deal with that. That's right. I am making it work. Let's see. Will your charger or outlet? I do not have an extension cord for my charger, no. But that's okay. I won't do any work while you're not looking, probably. I probably won't do any extra work while you're not looking. Again, I stepped away from my painting so I can get a better view of it. Hmm. For 50 minutes, it's kind of starting to look like a parrot. That's too bad. I was trying to draw a zebra. Hmm. I think I think the main thing I have to add is just a flat color for the highlights because you can kind of see like there's I don't know, I'm not really feeling it. It looks too gritty, should I say? It looks all right. I think that might be the oil pastel I'm looking at that's super gritty. So I'm just gonna paint over that with black. Oh, I like to use dry brush on top of it, like with very little black paint, so it doesn't really paint over it as much as kind of mix it in with the paint. That way, I can still get the cool texture that I was looking for, and I can also use my little painting technique on top of it. I think it would be kind of cool if I did a Bob Ross tutorial. I don't know. I used to do a lot of landscapes like all the time. That was the main thing that I used to paint or draw. I never really did a lot of painting. I wonder if I still have it. Probably. I can't find it though. I did like this charcoal drawing and then I put it on like those flat canvases and sprayed it with Mod Podge. And that was one of my first actual drawings. My real quote unquote art career started, I think it's been 2 years now. I was 14. Now I'm just turned 16. It was my birthday in January. So for some reason the rules changed regarding licenses, but I have to wait until the exact time that I got my learners. So exactly 2 years after I got my learners, and I got my learners a bit after, like during summer. So I'm gonna have to wait till like summer before I can take my driver's test. Then I'll be driving to school, hopefully, doing all the stuff drivers do. And right now, a bit of a stutter there. Right now, what I'm doing is just adding shadows around where you know it's a bit curved. All right. So I'm at 5% right now. I'm probably gonna have to turn my phone off. unfortunately. So I'm just gonna add a tiny bit more highlights because that looks weird and I need to fix it. I'm pretty sure the tiny bit of black that's on my brush won't really affect the amount of paint that I have in this second palette. It might, but I doubt it. It is not really. Yeah, catch you for part two. Yeah, I will probably do this tomorrow as soon as I can, because as I was saying, this is probably like the 10th time I mentioned it. Once I start something, I cannot stop. I think I get that from my dad. Thanks, Dad. No, I can't can't sleep. Have to finish parrot painting. Yeah, I think I fixed that up a bit. Just gonna add a tiny bit more highlights on his face. Get rid of that extra dark bit. Not a huge fan of that, but I think. Oh, I had a bit of black, excuse me, black paint on my hand. So just gonna add a bit more quick highlights here, here, and maybe a little bit down here. Try to make it look like the feathers are covering it up a bit. Make it look a bit softer and fill in that extra white space. And I think, for right now anyway, that turned out pretty good. So I'm going to read just a few more comments. I'm going to turn this up to my face, hopefully. It isn't too bright. All right, I'm going to read these. Sending you, oops, sending you warm tropical wishes from Mexico. Thank you very much. What kind of phone do you use, Stephen? I have a relatively old phone. It's an iPhone SE. So it's not like a super new model, but I don't really need a new model because all I'm really using this for is the camera. There we go. So this is it. Oh, thank you very much. I made my uh, microphone shake a bit. Got a little bit loud. Thank you very much, Zenobia. I really appreciate it. So thank you guys all very much for joining me in my live feed. Make sure you come back for part two where I fix up this monstrosity. I think it turned out, well, it turned out all right, but I definitely need to add lots of highlights, maybe fill in that extra white space here and here with a more colorful, I don't know, less dark for sure, colors. But thank you guys all very much for joining me. And until tomorrow or until next time, bye.